Hi folks, so I hope everybody's doing well. So today I have for you a Buck Rapidfire, which is one of Buck's dual action autos. So it'll work as a manual and work as an auto. Alright, so this is actually a really cool and unique auto. I picked it up a couple weeks ago locally, and it's a cool knife. I mean, you'll never see carried just because it's kind of it's kind of too unique for a daily driver. I mean, I might, but then again, with this or this, I'd rather carry my Loxa. So just, all right. So back to this. So I actually posted this a couple weeks ago, and then mentioned that I've already took it apart and stuff. Which actually, it's kind of funny. People were asking me if I already taken it apart, which actually within first 5 minutes of getting home, I actually did take it apart. Super cool mechanism. I really enjoy kind of fidgeting with it, and then they make mention of Shabaz's struggle with this, so I thought that okay, maybe I can take a crack at doing a shorter video, because it's like 2 hours long, which is too long to sit through, and it's all trial and error. So the thing with this one, I'm actually only going to take it apart from just the scale. I'm not going to really take the rest, because it's just a basic liner lock. There's kind of a trick to this, so I'm actually just gonna film it, even and I should have some of the troubleshoots. So hopefully I can keep this within 10 minutes. I'm hoping, no promises, but it's still shorter than the other one. And just to kind of show you guys maybe some other alternative troubleshoot methods if you run into them, because if I run into problems, you're probably gonna run into them too. Well, first of all, to show you how this thing really kind of works, so we'll get onto the closed position. All right, so this is actually the catch. So this lever, all right, so if you lift up on this lever, clears this catch, so it's flush, so it can rotate. And then while it's under spring tension, it's going to kick the blade out. All right, and now you're going to wonder, all right, so well, what about for the manual mode? So for the manual mode, all it's doing is, since it's the spring is the catch is catching this plate, so when you open it manually, so there's nothing obstructing, so it just operates like a normal manual knife. Pretty cool. Okay, so this thing is pretty much, I would say 90% for the pain of disassembly of this knife, because Buck decides to use this little spring here. It's got hooks on both sides, but the catch, pun unintended, is that this side here is actually lower than the other. And what often happens, and I suspect that's one thing that happened to Nick, is that it would just pop out, because the hook on there is so short. All right, so you want to orient this one. I'm gonna do this over the camera because it's hard to do this through the camera. All right, and then you just hook it through, however way you want to do it. May not be a bad idea to put some grease on there to kind of help it. If you're wondering what grease I use Frog Lube paste. I really love Frog Lube, but they dry into a paste. So if it's already in a paste and it's still the same slickness, it's a win-win. And that's actually what I've been using for all of my washer knives. And I think it's slicker than the CRK grease. They're not a sponsor or anything, so no conflict of interest. Just telling you a good product. And I really love them for my washer knives. All right, so that's more or less done, hopefully. Okay, so now the spring. All right, looks kind of daunting, but it's actually pretty straightforward. So what you want to do is go ahead and open your knife up, so you actually have full range of play with this. So you have 2 holes. Which one do you use? You actually want the one that's closer to a pivot, so the one on top. So if you rotate it, let's say to the open position, the deploy position, this will be the top hole. All right, so just kind of remember, because the other hole will actually give you a weaker spring. All right, and then all right, this is gonna be back in, because you don't want under full tension yet, because you want to lock it into full tension. Okay, So you see how, in the lock position, your spring is right there. Well, this little cavity here is actually where that spring nests into. So if you kind of orient it, I'll show you right quick. Hopefully the spring stays in. So the trick is now, so sometimes what I would do is, let me line this up. All right, is go and rotate this pin 9 degrees. Now match it in there. And now make sure to press down on this pin and the spring so it doesn't pop out. Okay, seems I've gone in pretty good. All right, so now you see, so now you're gonna hit a resistance. All right. Oh, did a spring pop out? Nope. So that resistance is the pin's dome. So we press down on it. So if you do it right, this will actually be in the closed position. All right, there's spring tension. So now what you do is you lock it down. Just get a pivot on there. It doesn't matter how tight and stuff. You can adjust that later. You can always come back and, acetone or alcohol, the pivot to Loctite it down and whatnot. Now let's check, see if it works. Okay, so something is catching in there. So let me just loosen the pivot. Sometimes just having your pivot too tight is enough to mess with that. Oh, see, now it's good. All right, so yeah, that's really the main trick of it. So I hope this is helpful, and I did it, under around 6 minutes, almost 7. And then manual works. Okay, so hopefully this will be helpful for you if you do get one and want to take it apart. If you actually do end up struggling with it, yeah, my tripod's on the Buck right now, so it wasn't a misfire. It actually just hit the Buck. All right, so this is working now. So hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If need be, I can take it apart, reassemble again another way or something, I don't know. But the real trick is actually, holding the lock catch and the spring and orient this around like a 90 degree, and then you rotate it in. All right, you just have to keep everything compressed and hold in. It's not terribly complicated. You can do it with just 2 hands. So yeah, I hope it's helpful. All right, you guys have a good one.